Starting a new niche is something really scary, something not many people want to go through. And for me, it was exactly the same. I battled with myself. I tried to not go into this niche of e-commerce, which I did. In reality, there are 3 reasons why niching down as much as possible. It's probably the best thing you can do for your business, because without that, you are destined to be stuck in mediocrity and not being able to actually approach your goals. Hi, if we haven't met before, my name is Klim and I scaled the e-commerce business to more than $10 million in revenue and 30 million in GMV, and I have successfully ruled over 150 people, leaded them to actually becoming a great e-commerce. So let's get on with it. I think that niching down is super scary for many reasons, but the main one being that you are trying to limit yourself. You are trying to limit your interests, your hobbies, everything that you do into a single thing, into a niche market of maybe around, let's say, 1,000 people, it feels like. First of all, you're not able to express yourself creatively because you're limiting yourself. And the second thing, if you're doing this for a business, you're basically limiting yourself to the number of customers that you have. Well, guess what? Both of these are not true. In the world that we live right now, speaking English language, maybe speaking even Spanish language or any other language, basically enables you to reach many people. And how many? Well, let's look at English-speaking people, for example. We have around 98% of the whole population of the earth above 16 years of age who have a mobile internet and a mobile phone. What this means is that we have around 2 billion people that are English-speaking and actually able to be reached by internet. Well, even on the YouTube, a biggest platform in the world about video, there are 2 billion people in any language having to come to YouTube once a month and watching videos. Well, guess what? If your super niche down niche, something about, I don't know, gardening, or maybe choosing a specific roles, or maybe even going out and looking at the pictures of old photography, there are niches for every single person out there. The most niche down you can be is not actually having to reach 1,000 people. Most likely, if you search your subreddit, if you search forums, if you search other YouTube channels that do the same, there could be potentially millions of people interested in what you have to say, in what you have to serve, in what you have to create. This basically eliminates the first bit. The second bit that we're talking about is niching down and being worried that you're creatively limiting yourself. Well, if you look at most of successful painters, for example, most of them actually limited themselves to something, because a limit enables you to have the actual framing, the limits that enable you to be creative in this form. When a painter limits himself to only paint in a specific strokes, he's enabling himself to be more creative. He's really enabling himself to drive forward his vision, his things, and his real understanding of how to do this. He will become better and better, and after understanding how to do it, he will make something that no one else did. Well, why am I telling all of you this? Because in reality, when we're talking about e-commerce, when we're talking about YouTube, anything else, it's really important to niche down. Because when the world is out there, no one is listening. If you're talking to a specific audience, to someone who says, oh, that's me, when you reference him in the ad, for example, you go to pee at night, well, you understand when you see this ad or when you see this video, if you see this content, well, that's me. You know, and that's how you actually reference the person, how you engage him, and how you really drive the connection forward. In the future, you can always be less niched, but in the beginning, you cannot afford to do that because no one is listening anyways. You might as well try to speak to a specific person. I'm speaking to e-commerce brands, right? There are not so many of them, and especially D2C consumer fashion brands, there are not many, especially in the price range and in the turnover that I'm looking for. Well, at the same time, guess what? I'm still doing that because I think that I can drive as much value as I can to those specific people. And if you don't think that you can drive value, well, maybe choose a different niche, because I have a huge experience in fashion, huge experience in actually helping Ecom. I don't think there is a better person for me to engage and speak to. The second part that people don't like about niching down is not actually being able to see the customer. There is a really quick fix to this, and this point actually really annoys me, because in reality you can always talk to your customer, and not only you can, you should talk to your customer. Do cost devs, speak to any clients, speak to any friends, speak to any colleagues, LinkedIn connections that you have in this niche that you're trying to target, or you're trying to go to, or maybe you're considering it, and just try to get as much information as possible. See if you like them, because in reality business is choosing what customer you work with. So make sure you study your clients, study where you're going, and actually drive it forward. The third thing that actually doesn't let people go to niches is believing that it needs more resources. Because if you think about it, you require so much more resources to drive a specific niche, specific audience to engage with you. Well, in reality, that's not true as well. If you think about Facebook ads, you can either engage 100,000 people, or on Facebook you can engage 20,000 people. Or if you're trying to engage the whole US, it's around 360 million people, right? And it's impossible to reach them all. So in reality, as niche you are, you can reach them faster, better, more often, with better conversion rate and with better everything. It's going to cost much less, it's going to be much easier, you will drive results much faster. And if you really think about niching down, you might as well think about what mistakes you can make in your business by watching this video.